While we were on tour with Circus Survive, we got the idea of like renting a cabin for a couple weeks and just writing songs every day and just kind of isolating ourselves from the world.
We had a handful of ideas going in there, kind of organized them all.
Well, the best part about the cabin was just being able to practice every day for as long as we wanted.
I think if we didn't go to the cabin, the record might not have been written, and going to the cabin really forced us to just write. I mean, we definitely had ideas going in, but it just forced us to play together, which not only made us tighter musicians, but helped us to just really develop the songs.
We woke up and wrote until we couldn't write anymore. So I think just being in that same space and writing song after song, I think they gel together pretty nicely.
Dude, I think it needed something like that. I think the record needed for the guys to get away from home, get away from home stress, whatever that may be, you know, and live together for a little bit and write the songs. Something's different with that versus, you know, showing up after a date or showing up after work, you know, and trying to write when you're already stressed out from everything.
We rented a cabin in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania for the 5 of us, plus the owner and his dog were there, Al and Buddy, and we like lived with them, kind of.
Best part was Al. Everybody probably already said that.
No, you're literally the only person that said Al.
Really?
Yeah.
Al was my favorite part of the cabin.
Describe, who's Al?
Al was the guy. Al was the guy that owned the cabin that we stayed in. And yeah, he was crazy.
The worst part was just being fucking out in the woods for 2 weeks and not having like things to do.
We definitely started getting cabin fever.
Being bored. Around day 10 of the 15 days we were there, I think everyone started losing it. I know Andy personally started losing it.
I was starting to lose it a little bit.
How much did you drink there?
No comment.
We took Polaroids of our time there, and at least half of them Andy is wasted or completely losing his mind.
Hey, quit touching over there.
We were watching The Shining, and about cabin fever, of course. That movie's about some dude losing his mind, being posted up in some abandoned hotel, and we were just in this cabin in the woods that you had to drive a mile from the road to even get to anywhere. And Andy started portraying Jack Nicholson in that movie.
I think when all you have to do that day or that week is just to write with everyone, that creates something so much more special than when you're just high strung and everything else, you know. And that works too, don't get me wrong, you know, a lot of cool stuff can come out of that, but it kind of needed this, and because the guys have been touring me so intensely for the last 3 years, didn't have the time to write as it went. I think they needed this time to just let it all out together and like create something together instead of everyone, you know, having these tiny little ideas after work or something or after whatever they're doing at home, but instead take it to a cabin, you know, hours away from home and just lock themselves in a room together and figure some stuff out. And that's special, and you hear it, you hear how together these songs are. I think this is one of the few records I've done that you hear a little bit of everyone in every song. And I feel if they didn't lock themselves in the room together to do that, that wouldn't have happened. In every song I can hear, man, that was Matt's vibe. This song, dude, that spacey shit, that was Eric's vibe. And the same with everybody else. I think every song has a piece of everyone. And I was lucky enough to see that for a little bit, and it was awesome. And it needed that. This record wouldn't be the same if that didn't happen.
What are you watching, Beef?
Dude, I'm just investigating.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Wrestling.
I was-
Wrestling.
I was
Wrestling. What is it?
When you stop.
Hey, what's up? We're in the same thing, and we're about to record a tape. For the first.
Was that cool?
Recording a tape was stressful, but awesome. It wasn't too bad, but my main role was taking care of Bailey's moral. I was taking care of Bailey's attitude.
It was really cool. It was special. Recording tape is something I always wanted to do by myself. I've done a few times with Phil, the last few years working with Phil, where I assisted him, but this time I was kind of on my own with it.
Recording the tape was cool. It's different, obviously, than not recording the tape. Bailey and I recorded live. Like we both were in the live room together, kind of like how we would be playing at a show or something, or at a practice, which was cool because we kind of were able to capture the vibe of how we sound playing together.
We would just do 4 or 5 takes, and then Will would take the best parts of those takes and just make them into like the final take.
For me, I just watched it.
I didn't do anything. I've watched Bailey and Matt record everything to tape.
But it was cool to watch. Let me see here. What was the process like for me? I don't know, man. I just watched it.
I watched them get frustrated sometimes, and then I watched them nail it sometimes. And I took an approach much like John to give them moral support in between their takes. And it was cool to experience what the difference between the tape sound and the digital sound. Like for when we first started getting tones, Will set up the tape, and then he had Bailey play drums and had Bailey play through the digital input through the computer, and then he flipped the tape on, and the difference was crazy. And I think at that moment, all of us were like, whoa, I don't want to ever not record this.
Yo, it's like nothing changed, right? I didn't touch it. All you did was look at the tape.
See bitch ass fucking Toys R Us studios do this shit, man.
Bro, you got it.
Workflow wise, it was definitely a little more not difficult. It was more so difficult on Bailey and Matt.
It wasn't harder.
We would do full takes. We'd do, anywhere from 3 to 6 to sometimes 10, depending on how long it took us to get it right. But it was definitely cool, and it's definitely rewarding because it sounds way cooler.
So we just got a bunch of takes, full takes, and then comped it together in Pro Tools. But we still got the full energy, the full takes of the players, and we just comped it in Pro Tools. So it was kind of the best of both worlds. Kind of like the way I would want to track, where we get the warmth, get the that big, as I call it during the session, big bear hug of the analog warmth, but with the editing capabilities of Pro Tools. So it was kind of perfect situation. But the only way it could have worked, and the only way it can work in the way I have set up, is for the players being Bailey and Matt to be awesome, and they're capable of giving me awesome full takes that we just comp through.
frustrating thing for me recording is recording my vocals.
Doing drums in the morning.
For me, I have to make sure all my lyrics are ready to go and melodies and everything.
When there's a part you just can't get for some reason that day, it's very frustrating.
It just took me a couple hours to wake up and feel mentally and physically good about doing it.
Some songs are like great and I feel great about them, but then some songs just are so frustrating to like fucking get through. It sucks sometimes.
That's probably the most stressful part, is making sure I don't write anything whack and have the guys hate it and me get embarrassed, or if the fans hate it as well.
I know personally I freaked out a few times, like to myself. I definitely lost it a little bit, but so that's frustrating.
You know, I record a lot of different records and work with a lot of different guys every day with all different types of personalities. So I like to hope that nothing surprises me. On this Balance record, seriously nothing frustrated me. Not one thing frustrated me.
It was pretty laid back for me. I mean, I know Bailey got frustrated, and not that it really frustrated me to say, but you know, when Bailey would get frustrated with a part, or you know, wasn't really sure exactly what we'd play, you know, I'm just kind of sitting in the room while he's taking out his frustration.
The part I like the most is hearing the finished product and watching everyone come together and make like one song when there's 5 people doing different, 6 people including Will. 6 people have inputs and 6 people's ideas come into one song. That's pretty cool.
Just guitar riffs, writing weird shit, just like fucking sing around.
We did a song a day for this record, and we started a song in the morning, and then when we left at night, the majority of that song's idea was recorded, and I think it got all of us really excited at the end of each day to be like really amped on this record and the way it's coming out.
Outside of sonic elements, dude, the band was great then. You know, the separation was great. It had, you know, that's why I loved the band was from that record. But this is the next step. This is next level. These are songs that the band was supposed to write.
These songs all are the perfect representation of Balance and Composure. When we recorded Separation, we were still trying to find our sound. And we thought we did. And at the time, that was our sound.
1 or 2 songs are our fastest songs that we've ever done. Maybe there's, I don't know exactly, but maybe 1 or 2 are some of the slowest stuff that we've done, and everything in between.
We just, you know, thought of each part, you know, how can we make that part the best it can possibly be. Each part, you mean each verse, each chorus, each bridge, each, you know, every single part of the song we would, you know, dissect every drum fill, every guitar, you know, riff, every vocal melody. We just, you know, took them apart and tried to make them the best they possibly could.
These songs, we took more time writing them, so I think structurally they are a lot better than Separation songs. And we've just all become better songwriters. So I think that shows.
Separation songs were a bunch of parts thrown together, I feel, at least. Like everyone came up with parts, and then we just put them together and wrote a record, and it sounded good. I like the way Separation sounded, and I like the songs, but these songs are better, and they're more thought out, and they're more carefully, I don't know, written.
We knew how we wanted to sound, exactly where, like, sonically we knew how we wanted this to come across.
It's growth, and not in the way of like trying too hard just because it's the next record, but all the songs came naturally. I was lucky enough to, hang out with everyone, while and being there from the conception of a lot of these songs and helping along the way, and to see everyone write and edit and rearrange these songs so meticulously. They really did a great job, and I think the songs are just better constructed songs now. We have musical conversations every day, and we make references I know these guys wouldn't make, back in 2010, even though I wasn't there, I just know they wouldn't have made that, and I think it's just this next step, and some of these songs are, some of the best songs I've ever been a part of, just because they feel like great songs, at the end of the day, they're still pop songs, but yeah, you have the musicality, and the organic vibe of the best instrumental bands out there. So it's kind of, this is the record that they needed to write, and I'm not taking anything from separation, but this is just the next step.
One of the greatest men I know in my whole life. He's the coolest guy that we've ever worked with, period.
Will's too easy to work with. It's like the perfect guy for the job.
We've worked with Will a few times in the past with some acoustic things and our braid split, and we got to know him really well before this record. And I know when we did the braid split, we just came to him and said, we want you to produce and do everything for this record. So
we just clicked. It was perfect. We're like, why did we meet him earlier? Because he's local, and I don't know, the connection was just too good to be true.
Will definitely helped. I mean, it was Will always says it's a group effort.
Will, out of any producer and most people, I think, knows our band better than anybody else does, and he knows what we like and we don't like, and what our strengths and our weaknesses are.
Well, Will's just a genius. And he just has great ideas with, like, I don't know, he's just great at, like, cutting things or seeing, like, song structures before they're even, like, finished, kind of.
He trimmed the fat, I guess you could say, off of a lot of songs. Kind of helped us puzzle a couple of things together just to make them flow better.
he just kind of like trimmed the fat. I think Bailey said that. He kind of got rid of all the excess stuff that we didn't exactly need, that we've had a habit of doing in the past with all of our older releases. He kind of helped us mold everything into songs, and not just song ideas.
When we were in the cabin, like the last couple of days, Will came up and checked out what we had so far and gave us 2 cents of what was good, what wasn't good, what was too long, what wasn't too long, and just being like our outside view of the songs, because we were so, that's all we heard, that's all we knew.
We just went over all the songs and he gave us input, and then we came back here and demoed the songs, and then we just came in the studio and he made us feel real comfortable. That's the biggest thing. We felt so comfortable recording here as opposed to if we went somewhere else.
You know, any times we recorded before, we'd spend, months, in the basement or wherever we practice writing songs, and then bring them to wherever it is we're going to record, and then record them. It was, we wrote the songs, and Will heard each step and, helped us develop the songs, and he helped put his input and really helped us to develop these into real songs and not just, just ideas.
I would like to think that I really helped these guys help paint their picture. You know what I mean? I think everyone, they had their ideas of how this record wanted to sound. I just want to help them, help it take it there. And again, help take the band to the next level. You know, that's all I hope to do. And hopefully I did that. And hopefully I did it with these songs. And that's why I wanted to be there from. And I told the guys, you know, I wanted to be there from when the first riff it was written. You know, I wanted to be at the cabin. You know, it took time, took a day off from daylight to go up there and see where the songs at. I took notes. I came down and help these guys, you know, work out arrangements. You know, at least try arrangements. That's the thing. Some of the stuff we didn't use, but I just wanted to throw ideas out at people and just keep throwing them. Because even if, say, 9 of them don't work out of 10, but if that one is awesome, hey man, at least we got that one. It's better that we have that one thing instead of having nothing at all improved, you know. So I just wanted to help these guys paint their picture and do it in a way that represents the band in the most honest way, make the band sound like the band. And sonic on engineering, in the engineering field, I think that was my main goal, is make the band sound like the band, because they're such a musical band.
What's Team Dick Money?
Our team,
What does that consist of?
all of us, and Dick Money. I don't really know what that is.
Who's all of us?
The band and Will.
And Will. You didn't
Will
include
is
that.
Dick Money. Will's the dick, we're the money, maybe. Or maybe we're the dick and Will's the money.
That might be it.
Yeah.
With this record, the main goal was to make it sound like a musical, organic band. I think that's what the entire band wanted. And hopefully we achieved that, and I think we did. Actually, I know we did.
Is that commercial song?
On the way.
Bomb away.
way. On the way. On the way. This song's pretty dope. We're about to do our first recording for the record on tape. It's gonna sound like.
Get it in.
Let's sing it down.
Lie down. No joke.
That was cute, man.
It's a good apple.
Has been played.
Teacher kid play.
Yeah,
You son of a bitch. Don't you wheel away from me, bitch.
Keep it too early.
What are you doing here? You should be here.
Dude, da-da-da-da-da.